We thank Allah the Most High for giving us the motivation, for giving us the courage, for giving us the vision to continue in this great work here, like we used to say back in the days, in the wilderness of North America. We thank Allah for giving us the courage to continue in this great work. And I thank Allah for choosing me to be a part of this great work of establishing freedom, justice, and equality here in America, and whatever way America go, the world go. That's why Allah put you here. That's why there's so many of you here in America, because Allah knows that this country, whatever direction this country go in, the world will go. So Allah put you here. So we'll understand why we're here. We're not just here to be here. We're not just here by mistake. The Muslims coming from all over the world, and the Muslims that didn't even know they were Muslim. The unconscious Muslims that's all around them. Every one of us was born a Muslim. And Allah can take his Muslims, his servants, anytime he wanna, he can raise them up. Raise his servants up, and he's doing it here in America, all around us. People have so much respect for Islam, it frightens me sometimes, because I know how it used to be. I know a time you couldn't even see a Muslim. Everywhere I go now there's Muslims. You have to be careful what you say, because you don't even know who you're talking to. Because people will tell you, yes, I'm a Muslim. You a Muslim? I'm telling you, man, this thing is beautiful. And I'm so happy, I'm so glad Allah chose me to be a part of it. Allah tells us in the Quran, A'udhu billahi min ash-shaytanir rajim. La ikraha fi din. Allah says, la, no. You know, Allah is commanding us. Allah is ordering us. La ikraha fi din. Ikraha, karaha. It means compulsion. It means the force to compel a person against their will. Allah said that you shouldn't force them. You shouldn't compel them against their will to accept deen. Fit deen, in deen. There shouldn't be no compulsion in deen. And the word deen is often translated as religion. But the word deen means more than just religion. It means a way of life. So whatever way of life somebody chooses to be involved in, Allah said that you should say to them, to you be your deen, to me be my deen. Because Allah gave them free will. A limited free will, but he gave them a free will to make a decision to accept whatever deen, whatever life they want to be involved in. And if you could put this in the context, the time context in which it was revealed in Medina, and look at what the Prophet created in Medina. They didn't kill all the Christians. They didn't kill all the Jews, until the Jews just got so unbearable because they were conspiring with the enemies in Mecca, the Quraysh, to try to eliminate the Muslims when they saw that the Prophet wasn't there just for them. Because they knew the Prophet was coming, but they felt he was just coming for the Jews. So some of them, when they saw that he was for all people, they began to work against him. But the Christians in Medina worked so close with the Prophet that they would come to the Prophet whenever they had some kind of problem. They would ask the Prophet to mediate that for them, be the judge for them. And the Prophet would get their book. He wouldn't use the Quran to judge them. He would use their book to judge them, showing you that the Prophet had some knowledge of their books. That's why the Prophet said after his time in some hadiths, he said there's going to come many fabricated hadiths. He even predicted it. He knew that people was going to come up, but he said the acid test is when you check the Quran. And if it contradicts what is said in the Quran, then reject it. So the Quran says, La ikraha fi din. No compulsion. But you got hadiths, you got things where brothers say, man, you supposed to go at them kafirs until they bear witness there is no God but Allah. And Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. But Allah said, La ikraha fi din. So in Medina, the Christians felt safe. Wasn't nobody trying to make them be Muslim. Eventually they became Muslim because the next part of this ayat, Allah said, because truth stands out clear from falsehood. And the creature, Allah know his creature. He know his human being. He created his human being with intelligence, an intelligent creature. And all you have to do is put the truth in front of him. And what Allah put in him, he will be able to recognize that it's the truth. You don't have to make him. That's how powerful truth is. Just like the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said one time. He told Malcolm, when Malcolm was wondering why the nation at that time wasn't growing. He went to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He's in a restaurant or something, according to the autobiography of Malcolm X. He's in a restaurant. That picture they had it different. He was in the home of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And he told him the problem. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad took a glass and put some dirt in one of the glasses. And then he took a clear glass of water and put it next to a clean, pure glass of water. And he said, Malcolm, look at this water with the dirt on it and look at the clean glass. All you have to do is put your clean glass next to the dirty glass, and they will be able to recognize the difference. They'll be able to recognize the difference. All you have to do is put your clean glass, because truth stands out clear from falsehood, and they'll be able to see it. The only way they wouldn't be able to see it, Allah said, فَأَلْهَمَهَا فُجُورَهَا وَتَقْوَهَا. Allah put something inside of every human being where they could recognize the truth when they hear it and see it. But if there's something wrong with your heart, if there's a disease in your heart, Allah said it's not their eyes in their head that's blind, but it's the eyes inside of them in their heart that's blind. Their soul too, you know, their soul. Because the soul, the nature of the soul is directive. If the soul is right, if the soul is not corrupted, the soul will lead you right. The soul will let you know that this is not right. This is not good for us. It is going to interfere with our peace. It's going to interfere with our relationship. Taqwa, see, that's taqwa. A certain consciousness, a certain awareness, a certain regardfulness that you have that acts as what the word said. The root of the word is to shield, to protect. Your taqwa will protect you. That's why in the Quran Allah says that it's so that you la'alakum taqtakum, so you may learn self-restraint. That's the self-restraint. You can be somewhere and there's no Muslims around, and the thing that will be giving you the discipline and the control that you have is the taqwa that you have, because you witness that Allah is everywhere. You know, Allah, it says that in the Quran, Allah says that in whatever direction you turn, there you will find the presence of Allah. No matter where you at, Allah sees everything. Allah is a witness of everything that you do. And imagine if you really believed that. That would check you. That would be another check. If a Muslim was standing right by you with some Muslim, if a Muslim standing, you're going to try to be cool. A little old fine girl come by, you're going to try to dress it up some kind of way. Man, look at this girl here. Man, look at them clothes she got on. Because you just can't look at her directly with the brother sitting there, so you act like you talking against it, but really you looking. You know, because you know, you conscious of this brother being there. But imagine God. Imagine the Lord and creator of everything. If you was conscious of the awareness of that, that would be your discipline. You'd be able to live Islam anywhere if you had that kind of consciousness. But if you don't, it'll interfere with your vision, the way you see things, your perception of things. You won't be able to see it right. You won't be able to see, even though truth is standing right in front of you, you can't see it because there's a disease in your heart. There's something interfering with your vision. You can't see it right, your prejudice or whatever it is. Now, sometimes you be talking to a person and you talking from their book. You say, well, even the Bible bear witness to this. You go to the Bible, they still arguing because there's a disease in their heart. Something is wrong. Because even a Christian, and I've experienced it many times with people who have PhDs, everything. We got a tape of us having a dialogue up here at Columbia University with PhDs, people with degrees in theology, and they bear witness to everything we said right on camera. It's usually the people that really don't know the Bible that you have problems with. But the people that know, either they won't say nothing, they'll sit back and just get quiet, or they'll say, you're right about that. You're right. But I'm not going to follow that. Because they're profiting too much following the way that they follow. They got big homes upstate, they got nice little Cadillacs and everything else, and they feel that they mess with this, they're going to lose everything. And there's a lot of other people like that too, who call themselves Muslim. They're afraid to lose them ranches and the mansions and the limousines and all that stuff they got and all them bodyguards and stuff. They're afraid that if they embrace pure Islam, that they'll lose it all. Black people ain't going for that. That's what they believe. Black people ain't going for that. But see, Islam is not just for black people. Islam is for all people. And that's power when you can reach all people. That's why they kill leaders that can reach all people. When Malcolm started reaching all people, before that they never even fired a bullet at Malcolm. Malcolm had never even been shot at in the Nation of Islam. He'd been threatened, but he'd never even been shot at. Once he embraced universal Islam, they set him up and murdered him. Because they looked in the audience and saw Chinese people, white people, everybody. He was appealing to everybody now. And that's dangerous in America. Especially at that time and what Malcolm was saying. At that time, that was dangerous. Martin Luther King started getting into international politics and what was happening in the world. And then they just murdered him. Got rid of him. As long as he was in the ghetto, in the inner cities, dealing with African American affairs, they ain't care nothing about it. But once they saw Burt Lancaster, and they saw all them other entertainers at the March on Washington, he was surrounded by white people. All people was around him. See, that's when you become dangerous. And Islam has always been dangerous because it appealed to all people, not just black people. Like Ronald Reagan said, you can have the black people, and he won by a landslide. So I don't need the black people. So that's for people who almost lose it. And to get over the edge, they need that. But Reagan said, I don't need the black people. You can have them. You can have them. So alhamdulillah, Allah let us know that there shouldn't be no compulsion in this deen. And it wasn't with the Prophet. He didn't have to compel nobody to believe in what's right. Allah has put something in every human being, like Isa ibn Maryam said, alayhi salam. He said that my sheep know my voice. They know the truth when they hear it. They know it. You can be talking to a person that have a second grade education, first grade education, but they know the truth when they hear it. They know when you're right. They know when you're right. So may Allah continue to bless us and reward us and bless us to understand what we are involved in. And it's bigger than some of the other things that we get into. Because you're going to be dead in a few more years and somebody else going to come right into your position and take it to another level until eventually it's going to happen. A fool could see it, what's happening in this country. A fool can see it. And it's good to be on the side that you're on. You're on the right side. You're on the best side. And all we have to do is do something now so that Allah will reward us with his paradise. I was speaking to an imam the other day, and we was talking about paradise, and I was telling him, he said sometimes when he read about paradise, he just want to die and go there. And I told him, but don't rush it, brother, man. You know, you won't take no chances. Do all the good you can do, so that when you do get there and the scales are weighed, that on the right side it'll be real heavy. So you want to live as long as you can, so you can accumulate as much good as you can accumulate. But Allah gonna let you know when it's time to leave. You know, when you're properly removed from your posts. And I know Allah gonna remove a lot of us soon. And then Allah gonna bring in a whole new generation that's gonna take it somewhere else. Like Imam Ali Rashid always say, we holding the line. We holding the line. And when we look back years from now, look how crude and rough we was, and how we was struggling with the deen. And then if you live that long, and you're an old man, and you sitting back watching these young brothers blowing, boy, they blowing the Arabic, the tajweed, everything, and you're gonna be sitting back like the brothers in Atlanta. Because I saw them in Atlanta, Georgia. The old senior citizens sit over in the corner. There's about 25 or 30 of them be sitting up, and I know some of them was great brothers. Brother Arthur, Minister Arthur, that used to be out of Brooklyn, bad brother. He sits over there now in Atlanta. Got other brothers that was well known, and they be sitting over smiling, looking at these young brothers, because they got an imam down there that studied in Syria for 4 years, a young brother. And the old brothers surrounded him and gave him Imam Pasha, Ibrahim Pasha from Atlanta, and Imam Clement Alameen, and a lot of other imams just gave him all kind of stuff. And if you heard this brother, it would bring tears to your eyes. The tajweed of this young brother. And he'd be going through Quran, explaining things and giving tafsirs that are beautiful. And you look out in the audience, to be immigrant brothers, and they be smiling like, wow, man. And that's the day I live for, to see that. If Allah bless me to live that long, and I can be sitting in one of them chairs, and the place is jam-packed. On a nice day, they have to have the prayer rugs out downstairs, because that day is coming. It's coming. Islam is more and more popular in America now. And that day is going to come, when you're going to see whole neighborhoods like this neighborhood trying to come to Jumu'ah. We're going to have to get some property or something and just build a big, beautiful masjid. Big, beautiful masjid. See, that's faith, that's hope, that's faith. I can see it. It ain't just no faith. I can see it like it's a sure reality that it's going to be here. And Allah chose you at the inception of it. Because Allah knows his creatures. He knows you. Nobody else could have did this but you. Because he know what you made of. Anybody else would have been gave up. But Allah put a special people here that he created to be at the beginning of this in America. So may Allah continue to reward and bless us with this kind of motivation and insight that keeps me going and other believers going, regardless of what happens in between. And Allah is protecting us. Things that we don't even know exist. And we know it's there, because we know how the FBI and the CIA and all of them work. We know that. We done went through that. The Nation of Islam was honeycombed with agents. They were everywhere, but they were trained and they were very good. It was very difficult to detect them. But Markham was so bad. I wish I could have been there and witnessed that. They say Markham used to be teaching so hard at the FOI meetings on Saturday, the agents would come out because they felt so bad. Markham would have them, how could you do this to your people? And he would go back into history and everything, and the brother would come out, they said, and he would say, I'm from the FBI. I was here to spy on you, and I wish you would forgive me. You know, and Markham would go up and hug the brother, kiss him and stuff, and bring him in. And they said sometimes 4 and 5 agents would be stepping out. So you could imagine how many would be stepping out from here. You know, but we don't want them to step out. We want them to stay right where they at, because they learning too. They learning too. They got the place bugged up. But it's like they at Jumah. And they keep listening. Keep listening. Just like the Mongols. The Mongols, nobody could defeat them. They was bad. Genghis Khan and his crew and his grandchildren, they was scorched earth. Everywhere they went, they was destroying everything. Then they went to Baghdad in Iraq, which was like the house of light. They had so much knowledge in there. And when they ran into that knowledge, the truth converted them, and they became Muslim. And they took Islam up to the Turkish Ottoman Empire, where Islam was on top for 800 or 900 years. So Islam, truth stands out clear from falsehood, and it's so powerful that it can convert the FBI and the CIA. So keep listening. Keep listening, FBI. Keep listening, CIA, because we ain't doing nothing. They be following us, trying to hook us up, and they see these guys ain't doing nothing. The most powerful weapon we have is the truth. Assalamu alaikum. لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك وله الحمد وهو على كل شيء قدير الحمد لله رب العالمين. We thank Allah the Most High again in my conclusion of this khutbah, and I thank you for your support. You know, sometimes you never can predict when somebody gonna come here. You know, on a rainy day, you know, I just put it in the control of Allah. Allah is in control of this. And we pray that Allah will continue to bless us to be successful. Wednesday Dawah efforts have been more than what we even imagined it was going to be, beyond our expectations of what it was going to be. You know, how people in the community, how we discovered how badly they need the Muslims out there. They need what Allah gave you. They need the enlightenment. They need the knowledge that you were given. And believe me, they come to us and they tell us all the time, thank you very much, thank you. Some of them come up crying. We had a sister took her shahada and she cried, you know, and we gave her shahada right downstairs with some of the brothers that's in here. We gave her shahada. And we have some other brothers who took their shahada again. They were Muslims and they came back again. And so we thank Allah for this. That was only in a few weeks. So imagine what's going to happen in a few years if we be consistent in what we're doing and not let ourselves get caught up in some of that other stuff that be going on. Because Allah has taught me one thing I learned from this religion. That's why Allah said, the Prophet said, that one learned believer, and I don't consider myself as being learned, I just consider myself as being a very studious person, and Allah, I believe Allah be guiding me. I don't want you to get that wrong, like I'm some preacher up here saying I'm getting some special messages or whatever from Allah, because I don't get no special message. I just read the Quran. I read it every day, and I study every day, and I can study better now since I got my sight back. I got my sight now. I be going off now. Too much stuff I be trying to take in. But every time I read the Quran, it's like Allah reveals something to you about how shaitan works. How shaitan works. And I try to be careful of that, because everything that Allah tells us in the Quran is designed to protect you from your enemy, from shaitan. All of that. When we talk about it, a lot of us have problems. I was telling my wife yesterday, I had started to backbite. Me and her, I'm in the living room, and I said, you know what? How powerful that is. The Prophet said that if you can guarantee me what is between your tongue and what is below your waist, I guarantee you paradise. And when I first heard that years, I said, oh man, that ain't nothing. I can do that. Your tongue and what is below your waist, man, I'm in paradise. I'm there. Man, listen here, that tongue, when that tongue get to going, you feel so bad out there. That's supposed to be an imam. And people looking at you say, well, maybe he read something I didn't read. You know, maybe he saw something I didn't see. And I told my wife, it's powerful, the tongue, man. You be just saying stuff. And you don't know, sometimes you be falling into stuff that Allah is protecting you from. Because Allah said he's the wali of those who believe. So he's protecting us. But if we open ourselves up to that, you know what happened? When the people do slip in, they say, oh, I got it. This is a good environment for me to work in. Because these people like to talk. And then he adds into the talk, or he joins in with the talk. And they look for people, frustrated people, dissatisfied people, hungry people, desperate people. Because they went to Masjids and set imams up. They set assistant imams up because they found out they wanted money. They was uptight. They was doing bad. And the agents made a suggestion to the brother. And they was on the news. They arrested them. Because the agent came in and made a suggestion. How you can make some money. Some illegal money. And they came here. Brother told us, I know how you can make plenty of money. He came from a masjid right over there. And after that, the FBI came looking for him. And asked Raheem now, do he know that brother? And then he said, well, where's the imam of this masjid? I was sitting right in the car watching it. And Raheem told him, I don't know, he's not here right now. So they left. They went back in the car and left. They looked like a brother from Jordan or a brother from wherever, but they was the FBI. And they was looking for that brother that was trying to get me to get into some business with him where we could get some fast, quick money. See how Allah protect you from certain things? You know, all kind of people come to me. A brother said, listen here, Egypt, we just had a crisis over there. Many people are coming over to America. We've been using the Christian preachers to get our marriage license and to get married. Brother Imam, we heard that you are licensed and you can do the marriages. We want to help the masjid. And there was one little brother sitting in the corner, this other brother looking at me, my response to what this brother was saying. He said, he was telling me how much I could make a marriage, marry these people. So what I said to him, when you come to Jumah this Friday, if you come to Jumah, I'll give you my answer then. So I went, called up some of my friends, Imam Salih Mujabi and Imam Shawaib and some other learned brothers I know, and I started looking into things. And that's what my cookball was based on that Friday. And I never seen them brothers again. Never seen them again after that cookball. Because I told them I didn't want that. Then I saw on the news some people getting arrested out of Queen. They weren't Muslims, but they were getting arrested for doing marriages to people who was coming from other. They was doing these phony marriages and stuff. They wasn't consummating the marriages, and they arrested them. They had them coming out in handcuffs. So I said, thank Allah, Allah protected me again, because that money sounded good. Now really, I could have paid for my house and, you know, could have got me another nice little car. But I thank Allah for protecting us. And I thank Allah for this opportunity that Allah has given to me, because Allah just gives you a chance. You know, one of the signs of the last days that we was reading about where the months turn into days and the days turn into hours. Time is going to go so fast. Next thing you know, it's going to be time for you to leave this earth. And what have you done for the afterlife? What have you done to preserve a place for yourself in a place that is eternity? What have you done? We're just working for this life, and we done gave up the life of the hereafter for this life. All we thinking about is this life. Man, I'm gonna get me some money. I'm gonna get me some money. I'm gonna get me some money. We ain't even thinking about creating a place for ourselves in paradise. All we thinking about is getting some money by any means necessary. Like Malcolm said, and we intend to get it by any means necessary. And after that, a bunch of dope sellers and everything popped up. And they were saying they were Muslims. And they remember what Malcolm said. I knew a brother was a pimp, had a big picture in his club of Malcolm. And he loved Malcolm. Any means necessary. Pimping, whatever I got to do. I'm gonna get mine by any means necessary. That's an un-Islamic statement. We have to use the means that Allah has made available for us, that's in the Quran and the life of the Prophet. We can't use no any means necessary. But Malcolm was just learning. He was just learning the religion. You know more than Malcolm knew about the religion. So may Allah forgive us. May Allah continue to guide us in the right direction. And may Allah continue to keep our hearts pure and our intentions pure and good so we can be successful in the big things that we're trying to do. You know, and that's how we're thinking. We're thinking big. We ain't thinking small. We're thinking big. And we're thinking about all the Muslims. All of our Muslim brothers and sisters throughout the world. We always make dua for them and what they are going through all over the world. You know, and how some people are trying to stop this great religion from coming back to its purity like it was from the beginning. They scared of Prophet Muhammad coming back. That's what it is. And I'm talking about that mind, that kind of mind coming back, the mind of the Prophet. You know, so may Allah continue to bless us and reward us Muslims and increase us in strength, increase us in knowledge, increase us in love most of all. Love for one another and be concerned about each other, regardless of where you come from. You're on the planet Earth, and Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that the earth is the masjid of Allah. So no matter where you at, you are in the masjid of Allah, and you are brothers and sisters of each other, and that's how we should see each other. Get out of all this other crap that some of us done went into, that the Prophet found us in, the religion found us in, tribalism and all this other stuff. And they say that's how the Turkish Ottoman Empire was destroyed, because they started breaking up and dividing themselves from other Muslims, and it was easy for them to come in and pick them off and destroy them. So may Allah continue to bless us to be strong as Muslims, strong in our faith in Allah, and strong in our faith in this deen. Assalamu alaikum, come to Salah. Allahu Akbar.